What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State loses a tough one to Memphis, 63-71 in the second game in the Maui Invitational, with a shot at the Maui Invitational championship game on the line. And this is a game that is going to sting because Michigan State did have chances, as we said, had chances to take the lead there in the first half. In the second half, had chances to take the lead. But you did like some of the stuff you saw on the court, and really the fight of this team. Got down 15 at one point, was able to cut it to a 5-point lead with about 3-4 minutes left in the game, but then just too many plays from Memphis, specifically their three guards. And we're going to talk about that here in this game, what we liked, the reason why we believe Michigan State lost this thing, and what we can expect in tomorrow's Maui Invitational finale. Playing in the third place game, be the 11 o'clock slot. So got the late night after dark Spartans tomorrow. But before we do jump in, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel. We'll have a recap up for the game tomorrow against either North Carolina or Auburn. That game is tipping off about right now as at time of recording, so don't know who that opponent is yet, but we'll have a recap out early on Wednesday morning for that game. But make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. So really diving into this game, you have to start with Memphis and just tip your cap to specifically their three guards is the main reason Michigan State lost this game. I mean, they came in and had been incredible in the first game against UConn, and you were questioning, like, can they keep that up? Michigan State does have good guard and wing defenders, and you just have to tip your cap to them, because they did. Tyrese Hunter was as advertised as he has been this season. 23 points, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, 5 for 10 from 3, 7 for 15 overall from the field. 33 minutes, 37 minutes for PJ Haggerty. Played almost the whole game. 16 minutes, 9 rebounds, 4 assists as well. And also Colby Rogers, 29 minutes, had 10 points, 2 for 5 from 3 for him. It really starts with those three. Those three guards were just consistent for them and just continued to make tough shots. I mean, Michigan State was forcing Memphis into some really tough shots, and they were just hitting them. You know, as a team shooting 47% for the game, 35% from three. I mean, a lot of those were contested tough shots that Michigan State was forcing, and they just continued to hit them. You have to also shout out their two big guys in Moussa Sissy, 25 minutes, and Dane Danger, 15 minutes. You were able to foul both of them out, though, but they still had an impact while they were in the game. Dane Danger, 7 points and 2 rebounds and a block. Moussa Sissy, 9 points, 7 rebounds when he was in the game, and a block as well. But they were a force down low, and I thought Memphis did a good job on the glass. Michigan State still won this rebounding battle, 36-28, but I thought Memphis was pretty good on the glass. It really starts there. They came in, as we said, they were ranked the second best three-point percentage shooting team in the country coming into this game. 8 for 23, 35% is down from that average, but it is still solid. And like I said, we're just hitting a ton of incredibly tough shots for Memphis as well. Only 9 turnovers compared to Michigan State's 13. Fast break points, 11 compared to Michigan State's 5. Points in the paint, 32-22. So kind of a flip for Michigan State, what we saw them be so successful with on Monday against Colorado. Obviously, we said coming into this game against Memphis, more athletic, more long, bigger, it seemed like, coming into the game. So it was going to be harder to get out in transition, get into the paint and dominate like they did on Monday. That proved to hold up with those stats there. Then for Michigan State, there was some good that we'll take from this game. But before we jump into that, I mean, look, it brings me no joy to say this, but I thought Frankie was bad most of the night. He finished with 10 points, 4 of them from the free throw line, was 3 for 10 from the field. I will say, like, as a whole, like as a game, like score, I'd say I think Frankie was bad. I thought he had some good parts of the game. Like, I thought he was good on the glass, 5 rebounds for him. And like we said, his shot's not going, his offense is not going, besides getting to the free throw line. So he's going to have to do something. And we've seen that in Maui here the last 2 games, getting on the glass well. So would like to see that continue. But I mean, you also have to say Jackson Kohler, 28 minutes, 7 points, 8 rebounds, was solid on the glass. 3 for 7 from the field, but just some interesting decisions. Had 4 turnovers, tied for the team lead in turnovers. I mean, Simone Zapala as well, 4 turnovers, 0 points, only 3 rebounds in 13 minutes for him. The big position, Carson Cooper, played 8 minutes, had 2 fouls, had a turnover, didn't record a point, 2 rebounds. Just the big position seemed like it really struggled, even though we said Memphis's bigs, Dane Danger and Musa Sissi, had okay nights. We forced them to foul out, but they didn't have incredibly dominant nights. Our bigs were turning it over very badly in the paint tonight, and I think that was evident. That was a big part of kind of stalling the offense. And, some things to kind of hang your hat on going forward, some positives for Michigan State. I mean, first off, 7 3-pointers. I don't think you've hit 7 3-pointers for this entire season. But 7 for 20 from the 3-point line. I think you hit 5 of them in the first half, so 2 in the second half. 35% on the year. That'll surely bump up your 20% that have been shooting so far this year. 42% from the field, but another killer for Michigan State. 12 for 19 as a team. From the free throw line, that's 63%. Not going to get the job done when you lose by 8 points and you miss 7 free throws. That's going to stick out pretty glaringly, but we already kind of touched on it as well. 13 turnovers, only 5 fast break points as well. That's what Michigan State is going to lean on this year, especially while the offense and the shooting, while we said it was improved tonight, while this stuff is still coming around, got to rely on the defense, which I thought they were solid on defense. Like, a few times you even look at Izzo on the bench, and he was just like, what more can you do? Like, Jaden Akins, Jeremy Fears, like, our guards and wings were playing good defense on the 3 guards that we talked about for Memphis, and they were just hitting incredibly tough shots. So you just have to tip your cap to them. But leaning on your defense, leaning on not turning the ball over, which they'd been good at. 13 isn't horrible, but when you only force 9 turnovers from the opposing team, that's going to stand out. And then only 5 fast break points. The way Michigan State plays historically and the way Michigan State is shooting the ball this year, that's not going to bode well in terms of a result that you want for Michigan State. But overall, again, won the rebounding battle by 8, so that was a positive. But like I said, I think Memphis still rebounded the ball pretty well. That's why that number surprised me. I thought that number would be, pretty even, I guess. But that's something that you can lean on going forward. Not every team you play is going to be as long and athletic as Memphis was in this game. And then some individual shout-outs. I thought Jaden Akins was pretty good. We talked about his defense. That was solid, but 12 points as well, 5 rebounds, 2 for 6 from 3. And then Jeremy Fears, I thought he was solid again, 8 points again tonight. Had a steal, 3 assists, was getting out, running the team well. Only 2 turnovers, not horrible there. 3 for 4 from the field. Would like to see him shoot a little more, especially, these 3-pointers aren't going. I would like to see him getting into that float game a little more. And then, of course, we're talking about him every game, and I think I mentioned it a little bit yesterday, and whether it was the preview or the recap for the game yesterday, but Jace Richardson, I think right now should be in the lead for Big Ten Freshman of the Year because he has just been incredible, making winning plays and game-impacting plays every time he touches the floor for Michigan State. 18 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers. Did have 3 fouls, 5 for 8 from the free throw line as well. One of those misses, though, I think 2 of those misses, actually, was after he just got socked right in the jaw and was kind of like shaking his head, getting himself out of it, but was 3 for 5 from the 3-point line. 8 shots. I think he did shoot the second most shots on the team behind Frankie Fiddler. I'm sorry, but he's got to be shooting 12 times a game, at least. He's got to be shooting about 12 times a game. Jaden Akins has got to be shooting about the same. Jackson Kohler, I think, is fine at around 7 shots a game, and then everyone else kind of funnel in there. Jeremy Fears shot 4 tonight. I think that's an okay number, but like I said, I'd like to see him get to the paint like he has been doing, but get to even more, especially when these shots aren't falling, getting to the paint and hitting some more of those floaters. I think he can do that. But overall, just an incredible night from Jace, and like I said, just impacts winning in so many levels, and that's why I think he's the early favorite for Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Like, yeah, you have the Rutgers, lottery pick guys coming in, and you have some other pieces, but I mean, name me a freshman that has played better and has been more consistent than Jace Richardson this year. You can't. But anyway, now you're playing for a third place game. And yes, you would love to play in the championship. What do we talk about coming into this game? Though, coming into this Maui tournament, leave 2-1. That is the minimum. Leave 2-1. You got an opportunity. It's going to be a very tough opportunity. Auburn and USC, winner of that game. We will be playing in the third place game tomorrow. That game, I believe, will tip off at 11:30 or 11 o'clock. I don't think it's 11:30, but that game is going on right now. Auburn is off to an incredible start, 14-4. So it looks like we could be playing North Carolina tomorrow. But anyway, like I said, we will have a preview up for that one on the channel early on Wednesday. And then, of course, we'll be back with a recap of that game as well. But overall, I think there's some stuff that you can take away from Michigan State in this game that they did positive. A lot of stuff in the first half. And then when they got down early in the first half, being able to fight back, make some shots. Jace Richardson, especially Jaden Akins, making shots, closing the half strong. Coming out, you couldn't have asked for a better start to the second half as well. But it was really that stretch kind of in the middle of the second half where defensively they were playing solid defense all game, but they had a couple minute stretch where Memphis was just hitting everything, where that lead ballooned to 15, that it was kind of hard to come back from at point, but give them credit that they did cut it back down to 5, and then, kind of evened out there at the end to give you that 8-point Memphis win. I'm sorry. But overall, stuff that you can take from this game going into Wednesday. Got an opportunity to leave 2-1 like we talked about coming into the tournament. So hopefully we'll be able to regroup, come back late tomorrow night, and do that for Michigan State here. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.